Oh wait, shoot, I need to change the stream title. Alright. It's time. Playing versus Neutralizerr round 3. Winner moves on to the candidates. We delayed our match a little bit, but yep, now we're getting started. Feeling pretty good, so let's just see what happens. Alright. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we're supposed to play a3 and knight b5, but oh man, he is booked up. I don't know the theory here. Um, Considering rook b1, which makes a lot of sense. Um, he can't move his knight, so he has to take on b1. Then what does he do? If he goes queen a2, maybe I can take d5. He takes b1. I can block on d1. Man, we're getting into a super sharp opening right away. I wasn't prepared for this. After bishop a2 or queen a2, I can also go bishop c4 followed by queen takes d5. That also makes some sense. But yeah, interesting that he prepared this knight d5 move, which I've never seen before. Okay. So we're sort of giving the initiative over to black here, because he has... Oh shoot, I have to be careful. Here, a b5, bishop d5, knight c3, but I can take on f7 there. So I think this is alright. Evening up the time, which is good. C6, we take on c6, let's just go b7. Actually, I might have rushed that a little bit. I don't have a pawn for d7. Alright. Knight e5. I think. Bishop c3, I can go bishop d2, no problem. Rook e2, I can go to f1. Threatening on d7, sort of threatening on f7. If he goes rook d8, I think I might just castle away. I really want to prioritize clock pressure here. I'm pretty sure these moves are all fine. I was considering on the last move, queen takes b5, but I wasn't sure how to evaluate this because I don't know if I was going to have mate after king e7. Alright, so knight takes f7 could be pretty powerful, depends on his own threats, of course, because this move, it'll take a couple of moves to actually make a threat. I'm going to need to take f7 and d8. So I have to worry a little bit about some knight e2 stuff. Yeah, here I may be fine taking this. He goes rook at d1 though. I can take... No. Here, rook at d1. Can drop on d6. Bishop d6, rook d1, bishop h2. It's kind of suspect looking. Queen takes b5, pawn d7, also probably not it. So I think I should just take on f7. I also have this knight at d7 move, which is interesting, but I don't think it does anything. I'm just going to go for this knight at d6. Rook at d1, I'm not sure there's another move for me there. Because if I take d8, he can take f1, unfortunately. I'm pretty happy if he takes this one. I'll be pretty satisfied with that. Um, but yeah. Whew. Yeah, so I guess I'm going knight at d6, and when he goes bishop takes d6, I can either take or go rook takes d1. The line I was unsure about is like rook at d1, drop a knight on d6, bishop takes d6. Okay, so he's chosen the safe material routes. Okay, just take this. Then we just drop on e1, so it's all defended. He's gonna go knight c3. He's gonna go knight c3, but maybe I can go knight d6 there. No, oh wait, I won't have a knight anymore. Okay. So maybe it's best to drop on f1? No. Could also drop the queen. No. I think we drop this one. Yeah, so now I'm really thinking about taking this. Takes e2, but then I'll have to use the rook to block. It's not going to be... Wait, actually, here takes e2. Here, he takes e1. I drop the rook. Is that dangerous? That seems like it's going to be too much. Maybe I should just take on d1 here. Okay, fuck it. I'm just going to take on d8. This did not go super well so far. I think he's playing good. Um, yeah, I'm going to have pretty dangerous threats here, though. I guess the problem is I'm not threatening anything. So if he goes king takes d8, I'm not sure what my move is. Okay, he does this. Okay, what? Okay, I may have lucked out here. If he takes here, he's mated. If he goes here, queen e8, queen e6, also mate. Wait, queen e8. Okay, hold on. Just a second. Queen e8, knight e6 is just mate. And this is mate. Okay, I lucked out there. I did not deserve that one. Okay. C3. Yeah, he played this against Spinal Tap in his last match. We're gonna see how we do here. We're gonna go knight c6, bishop d3 castle, h4 g4, knight e2 a5. This is what I had. Oh my god, how does he know it? What the heck? Okay, so I'm pretty sure I take this. Is that actually the best move? I take and go knight e4, was it? Or do I take and go knight h5? It's knight h5. I cannot believe he knows that. That's kind of insane. Okay, knight f4 makes sense. I can take this, and then I can take on e5, actually. Makes sense to get rid of his strong pawn, give my king some space. He might be able to take on d5, but then I'm going to go pawn f3 and start some initiative. Yeah, he has clearly out-prepared me so far. But we should be doing alright. I just need to be careful, actually. Pawn h7, knight at g6 could be annoying, so I might have to go up to h7. Actually, not convinced pawn h3 is so good. Or pawn f3, I mean. Bishop f5, it also makes some sense. Bishop g7, I definitely don't want to play because of some pawn drop on h7. Okay. The problem is, what does f3 do? Maybe I should go h3. Set up that f3 square. This is getting pretty sketchy. The thing is, I don't remember whether bishop e5 is like, I'm pretty sure it's the right move, but yeah, I don't really know. Like, no one has played this a5 before, so yeah. I just remember that after knight f4, I should have a decent position. Um, but he's clearly studied up. All right. I guess he's looking at some h7 stuff. Might be looking at this, allowing knight f3 and capturing it, then going h7, knight g6, then knight h5. That could be very dangerous as well. If he takes this, Maybe I can take f4, but I want to keep my bishop covering my king, so not too sure what I'm going to do there. I mean, okay, wow. So I take g2. Ah, he takes e7. Oh, man. Okay, maybe I have to do some bishop b4 action. Bishop b4, knight takes b4, then take on g2. I don't mind that, actually. Let's just double check. Here, let's say he takes, I take on g2, he goes h7. I go up, he goes knight h5. Okay, I clearly cannot do that then. Wow, that move is powerful. Okay, so I suppose I have to take this. This is honestly fine. I'm getting rid of his knight, so he's never gonna have knights on g6 and h5. Does it? Hold on, I wanna see. Okay, it does say I'm streaming. Good. Okay, so if I take this, knight e7, I should actually just be safe there, right? Knight e7, king g7. Knight e7, king g7. I think I'm just safe there. h7, h8. No, that cannot be anything either. I think I can just take this. Yeah. Okay. This is good. Rook g1. Let's just go h2. I'm too scared to go knight f3 because he has some knight h5, bishop g6 stuff. I guess I don't exactly see a mate, but I don't think there's any reason to allow that. Maybe a bit of the wrong idea. Okay, I think this makes sense. Gives my king some space. Um, can he go queen e2 safely? Probably not, because I'm just going knight f3. Actually, no matter where he goes, I'm going to go knight f3. King c1. I just go d2, I think, and take the rook. I don't think there's any point in calculating some bishop takes b2 stuff. Just check and take the rook. Yeah, he has no blocker. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. I'm gonna go into this line again. Okay. I think bishop c4 makes sense. What are the alternatives? There could be some kind of play against f7 here, but okay, this has to be correct. Now, I think taking this should be correct, and maybe knight e5, but yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure. That knight c3 move is going to be quite annoying. So, for example, takes, knight at e5, knight at c3, d7, takes d7, takes d7, takes my queen, knight at f6, king e7. Wait, I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna have a knight. King e7. I have queen b4, queen takes b1. Is that good enough? Looks pretty decent. I mean, what else can I do? I can take and go knight e4, maybe. That could cover some squares. Cover c3, threatens knight f6. He goes bishop e7. I can go knight h5. Holy shit. He's just blitzing everything out. Okay, knight h5. Why not? Can't spend too long thinking here. He has rook f5. He does not play it. Okay, here. Now I'm starting to, like, this could be a little bit dicey because I have nothing around my king. And I don't have any blocker either. I just have to hope that if he checks on this diagonal, I can block with the bishop safely. Here, I should be able to take this. Then I was thinking g5, maybe. This move could be strong. If he takes on e4, I take on g7. I feel like I should be fine there, but maybe there's something better. I could also just take g7 straight away, and then maybe bishop at d4, something safe. Bishop at h6 also looks very reasonable. He takes on g2. I just go pawn g7. I can't tell if he's playing fast because he knows the moves or he's just trying to play fast. I feel like my position should be good. Um, it's also hard for him to move this knight because I have some knight f6 ideas. So yeah, I guess maybe his best bet is to defend his rook with his bishop. Hmm, but I'm not sure. I am not sure. I was actually looking at bishop f8, bishop c5. Can block on d6 though. I don't see a good way to remove this. Wow, that is interesting. What is the idea? What is the idea here? Guess we'll find out. Maybe knight at b4? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I can just move the queen. Because bishop b4. If his idea is rook takes a3, I guess that makes sense. If I take b4, he takes my queen. I take his rook. Am I safe? Rook a1. Looks like I should not allow that. Maybe I can block on c1, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, so d2. He takes a3. We go queen d5 even? This bishop covering e7 is very useful for him. Um, I need to calculate some kind of something. Some kind of aggressive move here. Um, so queen queen b1, pawn a2, I'm not a big fan of. I think queen takes d5 is probably my best bet. Um, taking this is also logical, but I do want to get that knight takes f6 move in. So I'm just going to take this now. We're going to take on f6. If he goes king d8, I have knight b7. Should I just go for that? Here. I can't really castle yet, though. I also used my only blocker. So maybe I go queen e5 first. Queen e5 to cover a1. Then I can take on g7. If he blocks with some non-knight piece, I can also take on c7. Okay, this should be very good. He's going to check me on a1, but I think that should be fine. If he checks on b1, I'm still blocking with the rook. What am I threatening? That's the question. Am I threatening bishop c5? Probably not. Okay. So should I take this? I don't think so. That being said, I don't see anything wrong with taking and going king e2. Maybe he can take on b7 there. Then I take on d5. Or I go pawn d6. Shoot. Okay, I'm gonna go king e2, I think. Oh, maybe it was actually better to not. Oh, actually, he can't even take the knight because I have queen d7. Okay, that makes me feel a bit better. Knight f4. Okay, probably not. He's one check, but I can block it easily. Um, threatening some knight d5 stuff. Threatening pawn d6 stuff, maybe. Um, yeah, I think knight d5 is probably my best bet if he takes the rook. But this is quite scary, to be honest. Shoot. Queen h4? King e... Okay, queen h4, I think this makes sense just to take the bishop off the board. I think maybe my idea with giving up the rook in the corner was too sketchy. King d7, I have knight e5, not worried about that. If he goes here, I have rook d8, so he has to do this. I don't see a reason not to do this. Maybe there he goes king e8, so let's just take on b4. Okay, shit. Just gotta take this. Bishop f6. Wait, is this mating? Should I have used a pawn on f6? Shit, I should have used the pawn on f6. Then after king e8, I would have had bishop c6. But this is fine, I think. Check. Is this mate? Okay, good. Good, 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 good. 3 down, 3 to go. Okay, he goes g3. And this one I also prepared. If he knows the best move, knight h4 here, I'm gonna be Out of sorts. Okay, bishop g5. That move I don't remember looking at. But it makes sense to play bishop takes f3. He has to go pawn takes. And knight f5. And I want to go h4. I'm threatening the pawn on d4, I think. Yeah, so now this makes sense. I can also take on d4, but he might go queen takes. If he goes knight takes, his queen will get forked in the end. But if he goes queen takes, I'll have two knights for a queen. I'm not sure how I feel about that. f6 I can also play, but I'm worried about knight f4 and some stuff happening on my light squares, so I think h4 makes the most sense for me right now. If he goes g4, I will take on d4. I'll be happy to take the queen there once I have my h3 rolling in. Though I'm still not sure how safe that is for me. The issue with going h3 is I'm never actually breaking in. Um, like I may win the bishop, but he'll just drop it right back down. Okay, so what's the plan here? I think taking the bishop has to be the correct move. Then if he drops on, he uses the pawn, okay. Now I was thinking putting a queen on e5 or a bishop on e5. Um, taking h2 also makes a lot of sense. The idea with here is if he takes the rook, I'll get one of these pieces. He actually doesn't have a good way to defend both of these pieces because I'm also threatening mate on h2. So queen e5 is logical. I think maybe grabbing one more pawn, exposing his king, this could make a lot of sense. I am threatening mate, so he has to take. Then I don't have to commit the queen. I can just use the bishop. So he has knight b5 stuff. It's a little bit concerning. And if I go here, which I think I should, but maybe he tries to attack with knight a4, then I'm probably going to cover up with the d6. Maybe he goes rook h8 there. And then maybe I'll go knight at g6 in response. Pretty important in 3+2, I think, just to... Okay. Okay, I think he's stopping pawn e2 with that one. Um... Okay. How do I deal with this? I think f6 makes a lot of sense. Breaks the pin, attacks the bishop. Maybe get some more control of these dark squares. Bishop 5, f4. Um, makes the most sense for him. Then maybe I'll try and pick up a piece with this pawn e5 move. I don't see another good way to defend c7, so unfortunately I may have to give him some pawns here. d6, he can probably just take that. So e5 it is, I think. I don't want to push the pawn to e5, because I want to keep my pawn structure sort of solid around my king. Okay, bishop c4 now. Do I need to worry about rook takes e6? I think the answer is no, because rook takes e6 doesn't threaten anything. So then I'm just going to take f1 and threaten rook h1 check. I'm not sure about this f takes thing, because pawn f7, knight e5, pawn d7, maybe I'm forced to take that, I'm not really sure, but there's some dangerous initiative when he's got those pawns on the 7th rank and his rooks in hand. I'm kind of surprised he took with the rook, honestly. Maybe he was... What was he worried about with bishop takes? I'm not sure, but maybe there's some check on h4 or f2 being weak. Yeah. But yeah, taking this knight would obviously be really nice. Gets rid of, like, basically his most active piece. And then taking this rook would be nice because it sets up some mate threats. Um, Now, I don't know if the mate is actually in the room with us, to be honest, because I don't see a continuation after, like, let's say rook takes e6, bishop takes f1, he does something random like pawn g6, and then I'd check, takes, takes, takes. I don't see anything because all of these potential knight checks are covered. Um, yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but maybe I can just take on e6 there. I like the nice thing is I'm not actually mated after f takes e6, so okay, he really wants to take on e6. I think I'm actually gonna take both rooks here. Maybe even all three rooks. Here, rook e6. I take f1. and he takes f1, I take take all three pieces, I mean, not all three rooks. I have this queen h6 move as well, just to defend e6. I'm wondering if I should do that. There's some knight h5, pawn f6 ideas. Okay. I think taking this makes the most sense right now. Um, I'm just gonna assume that everything is fine after rook takes e6. I can take on f1. But yeah, that's not necessarily true. Um, Ooh, there's some kind of rook h1, queen h3 idea as well, but I don't have enough rooks to make that work either. Um, okay, but I've got some knights in hand. This could be useful. I also need to remember like some kind of ideas of dropping on g1 and taking f2 if this bishop leaves. Some kind of rook h3 and queen h1 actually could be very strong. So if he does something random, rook h3 actually? Is that just gonna mate? Okay, he takes f1. I think I take on e6 here because he doesn't have any more rooks to finish the job. Um, but yeah, maybe it's a little bit. Okay, no. Okay, he's still not threatening anything. I'm just gonna make an aggressive move. Oh, bishop b5 could be strong. Bishop b5 could definitely be strong. I don't want to move my pawn and give him a thing on c6, so I'm gonna be forced to use my knight here. Not the worst thing in the world, but I definitely missed that move from him. Goes g6. Okay, take f1. Okay, now I think it's time to take here because he doesn't have a bishop. Oh, he goes knight f7. Okay. Okay. Um, that's really interesting. Wow. I think I'm gonna actually give up my queen here. Just gonna take and maybe knight takes. Could throw in some kind of rook check. Here, pawn f7, I'm not too sure about. I actually shouldn't have allowed all of this. I'm allowing him to check on d7, but he doesn't have any knight checks on me after that. Um, yeah, I think this is actually a little bit unnecessary for me, but I'm clearing up all my pieces, and if I get some pieces in hand, like especially diags, like I'll be able to try and clear out some kind of defender here. Um, my time is looking very good at this point. I think I'm gonna go knight d2, queen b. Okay, he goes queen e2. Um, okay, I'm just gonna assume that this is not a threat, and I can just take f1. I think that's correct. Oh, okay, force out another piece here. Um, oh, that's really interesting. But now he doesn't have a. Wait, here, knight f4? Is that mate? Okay, good. Good. All right, let's continue with the same line here. Goes knight f6. That makes sense. All right, here I can play a line I know. Um, let's see. I have the option of knight c3. I also have the option to take e4, but I don't remember that too well. I think I'm just going to play the safe option. Oh, wait. He goes e6 and not knight c6. Okay. Okay, the main thing is to not allow queen h4 here, so I probably have to take this now. Then I think I looked at bishop b5 check at some point, but I don't remember if it was this exact position. I think it makes sense. We either bait c6 or knight c6. Either one of those are going to be good for us. And we can go back to e2. Bishop f1 also makes sense because we want the knight to go to e2, but at the moment I don't mind the knight on g1 because it's covering f3 and such. And my knight can be placed on g3, so I think this should be fine. Knight g3, just attacking the pawn on e4, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, queen h4 makes sense too. Um, Bishop e3, he's got pawn f4, so I think queen d2 makes a lot of sense. We're gonna try and trade the queen off here, and we're also stopping this pawn f4 move. Um, hmm. Actually, queen h3 is maybe a bit too annoying to allow. Um, Queen e3, does he have a move? Not seeing it right now, but maybe he can go pawn h3. Pawn h3, I can go g takes h3, but then he can go knight takes e5. Perhaps I allowed a little bit too much here. It also made quite a lot of sense just to move the king away. But again, pawn h3 might have been annoying. And king d1, I guess it was also possible, but then I would be exposing my f2 square. I wasn't sure if maybe he would be able to exploit with queen takes g3. Okay. So pawn h3, I'm sure he's considering. I should be looking hard at that too. I think knight takes h3 is actually the correct play. Then bishop takes h3, then I take on e4. I don't want to take on h3 with the pawn because of this knight g2 fork. Um, yeah, okay. But I think it makes sense to just give up the knight for two pawns, just clear all his pieces out. I guess the issue is that I might be losing g2. Um, the issue is I will be losing g2. Okay. That being said, I have everything covered. I think queen at f2, I give away the rook. Yeah, I'm probably giving him a bit too many pieces there for my liking. Um, so I do think g takes h3 is actually maybe viable. Like, he's only going to have a queen in hand, but I still don't like that. I think rook g1 maybe castles. He takes on g2. Um, I take on g2. He goes f3. I think that's still giving him too many pieces, so I'm going to stick with my original intention, which is queen takes e4. And then after takes g2, it may be safe to just go rook g1. If he takes on e4 twice, he goes queen h4. I can block. Oh, fuck. Okay, maybe it's best to just go queen f2 here. Yeah, I'm just going to go queen f2, just avoid all the headache. Um, but yeah, honestly, this is not very well played from me. I sort of missed this knight h3 move because he's going to get this rook on g1. He also might have this queen h4 idea as well, but okay, let's just take the material and try to hang on here. Knight h3, queen f3 maybe? If he checks on g1, I can block on f1. Maybe that's the play. Yeah. I think black actually should be doing pretty well here. But this is practically fine for white. I just have like so many pieces, I guess. Um, I don't know. If I ever pick up his knights, it's going to be nice to have it for d6. Yeah, he goes here. I think queen g... Nope, queen g2, rook g1. Probably can't do that. So I can't step on the g file, I can't step to f1, so I think queen f3 is basically forced. If he goes knight g1, then I'll step onto g2, and then we'll play that position. Any queen h4, I can go knight g3. Um, any pawn f2 I can take with either knight. Goes queen g1. Okay. Queen takes h2 I can take here. Should be safe. This is a big threat anyway. If he goes g2, I can take it and still be safe. Rook g1, I can just slide the bishop back. He goes queen g2. That's not really threatening anything, so maybe I can just go bishop e. Oh, no, it's threatening my knight on e4, so I probably have to defend that somehow. Okay, he takes on d4. Very interesting. I guess he just wants to get my pawn on e5. That's valid. I want to take h3. Actually, probably with the queen because I don't want knight e5 to be a tempo. I want to be able to play knight c7 or something there. So here, I guess the problem maybe is he can take on e4. Um, but that isn't threatening anything. So I think I will be able to do some knight c7 stuff and take a8. Yeah. Very sketchy position. If he takes on e5 with the queen, that can't be good. Um, okay. So here, what is he threatening? Nothing as far as I can see. Maybe he wants to take on e4. Yeah, because f2 is covered, d2, d1 all covered. Okay, let's just start speeding up here. Let's take the rook. Let's go rook d2, I think. Knight f3, it's still covered twice, so it's all fine. Here, maybe e3. Shoot, this is getting a little sketchy, but I think this is safe for now. If he takes, I can take his queen with check, so it should be fine. Oh my god, I totally fucking missed that my knight was hanging, but it's okay, maybe? Here I cannot allow knight f3, so okay, let's just go here. The nice thing about knight f3 is I can take twice and go knight e5. I fucking missed that too. Oh shit, I just hung all my pieces. Okay, well, can't give up. Let's just cover f3. Can still get him on time here. I still have a pawn to block if he goes bishop b4, but maybe that's not ideal. He goes knight b4. Just go queen g3. Knight c2 I'm forced to take, I think. Okay, let's just block. Now knight at c2 I can slide. Oh, shit. Okay, that is extremely fortunate. Okay. Okay, let's play this again. E2, A5, bishop E5 I can take. Now the question is what to do. I don't remember if it's knight E4 or if it's bishop F3 even, or if it's just knight H5. But knight H5 worked last time, so I'm just gonna play it again. Take E5, then knight D5 I go H3. His knight G6 move didn't work, so I'm just gonna put the burden on him to find the right move. I think the right move for him is G takes H3. Just allowing knight F3 because I'm not sure I can give him another knight. But we'll see. I'm planning bishop F3 at the moment there, but I may have to calculate a little bit. Okay, he goes here first. That makes a lot of sense. So we have to go to G7. Okay, now he takes it. This is also quite logical. Um, okay, so the plan was bishop F3. The problem with bishop F3 that I see is he still goes queen takes F3 and rook G1, and I don't have a good blocker. So I may have to do other stuff. So taking H3 makes sense. Giving myself a pawn in hand to block the G file. Oh, what else? Taking F4. Maybe that makes sense. The problem is knight H5. That would actually just mate me as fuck. So I can't take on F4. I can take on B2. Looks questionable at best. I can drop on E6. This also makes some sense. Yeah, this makes enough sense for now that I'm gonna play it. I can't fall too far behind on the clock. I don't see anything glaringly wrong, and I'm probably not gonna come up with something better if I think for another 30 seconds. Um, the threat is just to take twice here. Um, yeah. If I remove one of his knights, then I will maybe be able to go knight f3 because he does need like a bunch of knights to make this work. Like he needs the knight on h5 and the knight on f4 and a knight in hand to drop on g6. Okay. F6. Okay. So, bishop takes f6. Wait. Pawn takes f6, knight at h5. Then he can just take any pawn and he'll be threatening mate. That's not good news. But it seems better than bishop takes f6 because here I'm just allowing his knight like into h5 and all that shit. So I have to play pawn takes. Knight h5 and knight takes e6. I'm just cooked there. Shit. Okay. I severely underestimated that as well. Wow. That actually works, huh? Okay, well played. Okay, let's play this line then. I think bishop b5 is still correct. Yeah, we're getting into the some crazy territory here. I still probably need to avoid queen h4, but oh, this could be an issue. Um, Knight g3, queen h4, knight h3. It's possible. I want to avoid this king f1, pawn h3 stuff. Um, yeah. Honestly, don't know what to do here. Maybe just queen d2 right away. Still has some pawn h3. Knight e3 maybe, instead of knight g3. Makes sense. Now after queen h4, I can just play g3. Perhaps this is what I should have done the previous game. I'm not sure though. Taking f5 could be quite useful to get a bishop to block with. I want to delay knight c3 because I don't want to give him this pin. That being said, I may need to play it at some point. Bishop e7 now, knight c3 is a little bit more attractive. Um, Bishop h4, I think I can choose between king f1 and g3. Okay. Okay, so I think taking this makes a bunch of sense, because now I can move my knight freely. Um, he may be able to go knight h4, but I think I can castle. And if he takes g2, I'm planning to take on f5. Removing the defender of his e4 pawn. If I can get rid of both these pawns, I'll be doing very well, even at the cost of a piece or, whatever. Okay, yeah, this is starting to look up quite a bit. If he takes e5, I'm not going to bother with calculating the queen trade stuff. I might just take on f5. If he goes f3, I can maybe take e5. Okay. Okay, bunch of moves to consider here. I want to look at the aggro here in pawn f6. Not sure I like that with so few pieces in hand. Um, Taking f5 and e4, not sure that's worth a rook. He's has some initiative straight away on those squares. I think this makes a lot of sense. If he takes on g2, I'm still gonna take on f5. Okay. Okay, now if he takes g2, I'm taking the queen. Yeah, and then here, if he takes, I'm just gonna take h4. Okay. Now there are a couple moves to consider. The main one is rook takes f, or the greediest is rook takes f5. Knight takes e4 is more of a tempo move, so if I want to go here and pawn f6, that would make a lot of sense. Okay, rook takes f6, or rook takes f5. What's he gonna play? Probably bishop g6, right? Um, I don't want to give up my rook, so if he goes bishop g6, I'm not exactly sure what to do. I think knight takes e4 makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So let's just go here and pawn f6. So this is going to be pretty strong because knight h6 is like an immediate mating threat. Um, Although now I'm just realizing that after bishop e3, I won't be able to play knight h6 anymore. I guess the good news is if I play f6, then knight e7 is also the same. So let's just go here. I'm starting to feel I misplayed this. Um, but yeah, we'll just see what happens. After g takes f6, I have knight h6, I think. Okay, here I should be able to scooch. Yeah, knight e7 is a big threat, so I think he has to defend. Maybe I'm actually doing quite well here. G takes f6. I think I still go knight e7, but I don't have a pawn in hand. So I need to remember that I can't follow up with a check there. So what I'm looking at is queen g4, looking at this knight on d7 and the bishop on h4, plus it's covering g2. This also makes sense from him, but I think knight g4 could be good. I'm covering f2, I'm attacking h6. I want to take g7 and go pawn f6 again. The question is, after pawn h3, can I get away with taking it? I think the answer is yes. After pawn h3, I also have some bishop f3 tech as well. Um, the nice thing is I'm covering f2 and I'm threatening a bunch of shit. I think knight g4 is like a pretty decent response to bishop h6, no matter what. But yeah, the annoying thing is like his bishops are all defending shit, so this one will be tough to actually break in. I think we can start blasting now. Um, Knight takes makes a lot of sense. Just keep those bishops defending, but now I'm feeling that I should be able to break in somehow. So I'm going to start here. He's going to play knight h5. No, if he goes knight h5, I can take h6 and h5. Okay. All right. Now we should be making some progress. I want to take h6 and play bishop g4. That allows me to take e6. Um, yes. Ideally, I would like to delay this move, but I think it's time to go in. Like, this is a big threat followed by bishop g7, I think. Maybe it's not a big enough threat, though. f3, I think I can take. I'm planning on bishop at h3, though. Knight f2, I think, is kind of suicide, because anytime he gives me a knight, I'm going to have this knight e7 move. So, yeah. Um, Knight e3. Okay, so we would just plan bishop h3. We're going to do that. We're just going to take with the queen here, probably, to defend here. Bishop d5, I can always block on e4. If he attacks my queen with his knight, I'm just going to take e6, and I'm pretty sure he won't be able to take the queen, but I should probably try and calculate that before I just go right in. Pawn g7 is a decent threat here. If he goes knight takes, maybe his king is safe there. That's why I want to be able to take on e6 with the bishop. This is looking very good now. I have the initiative and I have time. Um, and I think my position is objectively pretty decent. I think it's probably not possible for him to defend this, if I play correctly. Yeah, now I have knight e7 and g7, I think. But maybe there's something better. Okay, hold on. Knight e7, g7, knight takes, takes. Huh. Maybe it's best to check again. Maybe with the rook. No. Okay. Knight f5. Just attack the bishop again. Attack the other bishop as well. Just send the pawn into g7 here. Take. Just pawn f6 again. Yeah. Okay. Now it's going to be very difficult for him to take this. Yeah. Now I've made perfect. Okay. Cool. GG's. Okay. Again, another shaky match. I feel like I kind of got outplayed in a lot of those games. I got lucky in game one and my last white game as well when he flagged, but yeah, got the job done. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I guess I can just go through the match real quick. Why not? Okay. So what's the line here? Okay. So rook b1, sure. A6, bishop c4 is correct. E6 is correct. Takes e6 is correct. Yeah, b7 is too much. I just rushed into that just because it's like a bug-ass move. Like, you just assume one more pawn is coming for d7. Um, but yeah, that was probably not it. Oh, also, I should check the chat. Hello, hello? Hey, Renga. Hey, Muffin. You're first. Hey, Cormac. Hey, QRM. Hey, Lipsol. Hey, Chuck. Hey, Dopey Unicorn. Um, hey, Lucas. Hey, Boner. Hey, Waller. Okay, cool. So, we're gonna go over the match. Um, yeah. All right. Knight at e4, I played correctly. Um, in the game after this, but yeah, b7 a bit too much. Okay, knight takes f7 is correct, or is it? I think the computer is starting to realize that this e2 is really strong. Wow. He played very impressively in these games. At c3, I was thinking about taking on d1, but yeah, I just took on d8. This is still not that bad. Yeah, and yeah, this is just a mate blunder. But I think it was actually best for him to take on d8 here, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, rookie 8, what the fuck? Okay, I did not see that at all. Okay, but yeah, this is just a blunder. Um, Rook G1. Oh, fuck. I meant Rook G1. Knight G1. Then he can take on D8. Yeah, now that my knight is gone from F3, I don't have this Rook E8, pawn F7, knight E5 thing anymore. Um, so yeah, I guess I just take this. I don't know. This feels quite difficult for black still, to be honest. But yeah, wow. No balls. This is crazy. Yeah, king's pretty safe on F7. Okay. So yeah, B7 put me in a tough spot. Um, yeah, I think if the computer will think for a little bit more, it'll just realize that my position is pretty bad no matter what. I think this is fine practically. Queen on D3 is also pretty good. Um, we're just removing his D file influence. I'll be able to get a pawn for D7 eventually. So yeah, maybe this is okay. Okay. Game two. Okay. I prepared this A5 before the match. Bishop E5, I knew I was supposed to take, but I didn't remember knight E4. It felt right in my head to play knight E4, but I just couldn't see what to do here. Yeah, I don't know. This just, I don't know. I couldn't make sense of this in my head. Um, Knight E2 or G1. Um, I think I'm just running out of pieces in that other game. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't remember that that was theory, so yeah, this is just well played from him. The point of A5, by the way, is after knight F4, knight B4. I have this knight takes D3 and rook A6 idea. Was hoping to at least get to play it, but yeah, okay. I didn't remember the right moves here, so whatever. Yeah, this H3 is bad, but yeah, this knight takes G6 didn't work. He just didn't have enough pieces for that, so I think that was all fine. Okay, try this again. Okay, this is all fine. Oh, B7. Oh, I missed that. Okay. Oh, I thought this was never gonna work with this here, but yeah, yeah, I don't know. I could have found this, I think, but this is wow. Yeah, this is pretty tough. Um, I don't know. I just got spooked by this bishop. I was like, oh, if he steps back, but he can't really step back because of queen d8. So I think that was a big miss for me. Um, wow, rook e8. What the fuck? Just stopping king e8. That's insane. Here. Now queen f6 and he can't go back to e8. That's crazy. 29 rook e8. Yeah. Yeah. Just totally missed that, but no. This is good. This is good. I don't know why I panicked after this. I've completely forgot I had rook e7 mate. Like my plan was pawn f6 and then bishop c6. Then knight takes d6. Yeah, but yeah, of course I just have rook e7. Whoopsies. Okay, so that game is fine. Okay. I did not remember the right move is queen d7 here. So I guess good on him for neutralizing my thing. H3, I felt like this should be good for white. Bishop e5 force the weakness and force also minor piece. Yeah, the way I did it, he didn't have to spend any pieces just to keep his structure kind of intact. So I don't know. I think this is fine. Yeah, I played this quite well. Yeah, this is all fine. Yeah, and then I yeah, okay, good. Okay, this game was bad. Um, okay. So knight g2 is the right move. Knight h3 as well. Yeah. Yeah, it might have just been best to not take this. Just go knight e2, knight g3, but um had some d2 is fine, but yeah, I should have just taken d3. That's kind of a crazy move, but oh, knight e5. Oh, I was looking at this line, but I was just like, I can't take with this c pawn. I can't take with the bishop because knight f3. But yeah, I didn't see this knight e5 move. Okay, but yeah, oh, this is super bad. I just blundered my both knights in a row. Yeah, unlucky. Okay, same line again. This line was just shit. He punished h3. Yeah, this is just lost. Okay, and then the last game, I think I played this pretty well. I guess I didn't do the opening the best. Um, yes, huh. Somehow I just did not get a good position from the opening in any game here, but yeah, I think I played pretty well here. This all looks fine. Oh, but oh, he does have knight h3. I was wondering, but yeah. At this point, I feel like yeah. Okay, good. Okay. All right. Well, we're in the candidates. W me. I may stream some other matches if I'm on and they're interesting. Um, but yeah, probably have to do a little bit more opening work and all that. Yeah, but I'm pretty happy to have made it this far. It was a decent result. I thought I played pretty well. Um, and good luck to Neutralizerr in the future rounds. Um, I'll be putting this on YouTube. So yes, you'll be able to catch all my crazy house matches there if you miss these streams. Um, but okay, it's time to watch tennis. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye.